Tiger, just first off, comments on being back in this position with the 54-hole lead and your thoughts on going into tomorrow.
Yeah, I got off to a nice start there. I made some nice putts. Good Lord. I left myself, in good spots too, so I was able to take a run at some of the putts. Other than number 3, every putt was uphill, and so it was nice. And I felt like I could freewheel it, and they went in.
Oh, go ahead and start some questions. Doug, right here.
Tiger, aside from having a 3-shot lead, in what ways do you feel more equipped to win now than you might have in, say, March or even July?
Well, in March, I didn't really have a golf swing yet. I was still trying to figure out how to play, and that's my body is so different than it was then, and my equipment's so different than it was then too, as well, because of my body and because of my swing. So I've gone through a lot this year to get myself to this point, and understanding and fighting my way through it, and it's been. I'm certainly much more equipped than I was in March because of what I've gone through.
Steve, go ahead.
The second shot on 16, can you talk about how bad the lie was, and how many times did your back foot slip, and why?
Yeah, on 16, I was just trying to squeeze it up in the left bunker, and that rough turned it open, came out hot, and off I went to the right, and that's the only spot I couldn't miss it. I was just trying to make sure I hit it left, and it still grabbed enough where the toe grabbed enough where it opened it up. I hit in a bad spot. Third shot, ironically enough, I was trying to hit it 40 or 50 feet right of the hole and just take my bogey and get the hell out of there. And I went underneath it. The fourth shot was money because I was practicing that in a practice round, hitting a 56 or 60, and I couldn't quite get it right. So I went with a 60 on today, and I made sure I hooked it in there with a little bit of hook spin, so that first hop kicked through the grain, and it came out nicely. So I kind of went with a hybrid between what I was doing in a practice round, and my foot slipped a lot today. Don't know why. I'll analyze some of the video and some of the stuff, and we'll figure it out for tomorrow.
It's right here in the front.
Tiger, it's the first time in a while that you're first in the field in strokes gained putting. How confident are you with the putter right now, and how the successful putting just seems to lead to success in all facets of your game?
Yeah, I've been hitting the golf ball pretty well, and I've been streaky with my putter. I've had hot days, I've had hot stretches, but I haven't been consistent day in and day out. And this week I have been consistent. My speed's been good. I'm seeing the arc of the putts, and the best part is that I'm releasing that toe, and that toe feels like it's hooking every time. It's a great feeling, and I feel great when I've got a lot of release in my hands.
Yeah, that's right here. Good.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, apologies. Hi, Tiger.
Yes.
You spoke this week about the importance of getting that W, that win, the importance of that. Now that you have the 54-hole lead and a 3-shot advantage, how does it feel, and how vital is it now to go on and get the job done?
It feels great to have worked my way into this spot. This has been a difficult setup. It's a golf course. It's very easy to make bogeys, and it's difficult to make birdies. And my game plan throughout the week has been very conservative. Make sure I dump the ball 30, 40 feet from the hole, and trust my lag putting and get it down there. And maybe I might make one or two here and there, and make sure I string together a bunch of pars. And occasionally, if I'll get hot with a couple holes and try and take advantage of it. And it hasn't been real complicated. Hard part is trying to hit the ball in the right spots. And I think the best thing about my ball striking this week that's allowed me to putt well is that every time I've missed it on the correct angle. And so I've had control of it going into the greens, and even if I missed the greens, I had pretty simple pitches where I've had a lot of green to work with. Well, I love to be able to win this event. You know, I've got a 3-shot lead. I've got a bunch of guys behind me that have been playing well and are playing well. And, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
It's right here in the front.
Tiger, can you talk about familiarity with the course, how significant that is, and also touch once again about your putting and how good you feel about it right now?
Yeah, I have played this golf course well over the years. You know, I've come in here and I've shot low scores. I've been consistent throughout my career here, and I've always enjoyed golf courses that are very straightforward, hard and straightforward. You know, i.e. Akron. It's not real complicated, but it's straightforward and it's hard. And this golf course I think is similar to that. It's just no tricks. Maybe just a couple of blind tee shots, but other than that, it's just right in front of you. And throughout my career here, I've putted these greens well, whether they were the old bent or now Bermuda.
You can do Dave, Karen, then Bob.
Tiger, you obviously got off to a fantastic start today, and you've done that in times in the past. Have you learned to consciously think about something or not think about something to prolong a streak when you know that 4 or 5 birdies in a row and you want to keep it going?
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure that I stay committed to what I was doing, and trying to make sure that if I missed it on the correct spots. And the only shot that I kind of missed was at 7. The tee shot there. It's a awkward landing, and I turned the 3-wood over just a little bit too much, ended up in a bunker. But I had just an absolute perfect lie. It was sitting up on a tee. And I'll try and hit a straight ball to maybe a little cut over to the right and short. If I happen to hit dead straight, it could be good. Because the lie's sitting so well, and it came out just dead flat, straight, and nice and tight there for birdie.
Karen?
Tiger, in all your top 6 finishes this year, you've had to come back except for Valspar from 4 or 5 back. So you've been chasing. Can you talk about the strategic and psychological advantages of knowing that there's no one ahead of you? You're going to know what everyone is doing in the field.
Well, simple math says that if I play clean card, the guys behind me have to shoot 67 to force into extra, and so that helps. I don't have to shoot 63 or 4 and hope I get help. That's a big difference, and this is a spot I much rather be in than certainly 4 or 5 back.
Bob?
Tiger, how much is getting in the lead and being in this position like old times, and how much of it do you have to relearn to get those feelings back?
Good question, because I've felt very comfortable when I got into the mix there at Tampa, even though it was very early in my start to this year. And because of that, I felt comfortable when I got to Bay Hill, when I grabbed the lead at the Open Championship. The things that just didn't really feel abnormal, even though it's been years, literally years since I've been in those spots. But I think I've been in those spots enough times that muscle memory, I guess I've remembered it, and I felt comfortable in those spots. And today was the same. I was tie-free going out. We got a long way to go, and I got off just a ideal start. I made one at 1 and made a nice curler there at 3, and the next I was off and running.
A couple more guys, right in the middle.
Tiger, you played a lot with Rory on Thursdays and Fridays. How motivated or excited are you to play with him on Sunday with the tournament on the line?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We haven't done that, that much of late because I've not been there. He has been there. He's won a bunch of tournaments. So it's nice for us to go back out and play against one another, to be in the mix. There was a stretch there in one of the early starts of the playoffs when I think we had each other in the first 3 events of the playoffs. It seemed like we just couldn't shake one another. It was in the old format where the points didn't really change much. So we're in much better shape this time.
All right, Adam, and then finish with Doug.
Tiger, when you've won as many times as you have, I'm just curious, how do you display all these trophies, and have you any idea where you would put a new piece of hardware?
It would be somewhere in the house if I happen to go on and win this event. I have a lot of trophies. Yeah, it's scattered around through my house, my mom's, the foundation, some other places, and I've donated a few to charities over the years. But yeah, I've won over 100 events as a pro, so there's quite a few trophies here and there.
Okay, and then Doug.
Which ones you donate to charity? It wasn't a jug or anything, was it?
No. There was a bunch of times where I think I won it either 5 or 6 times a year, and some of the charities, wanted to display it and just go ahead and just keep it.
I wanted to ask you, did today feel normal or did today feel special, the way you played?
I felt, well, I felt hot early, for sure. I was hitting it absolutely dead flush. The putts I was hitting were going in, and from there, I just tried to just hang in there and try to make. Well, if I could add maybe 1 or 2, on that back 9 would be great. But I figured the guys weren't going to be doing much out there. You look at these hole locations, before the day started. Could we get them the night before? And I figured, a low round would be 66 or 65 today. And having to be 600 through 7, I'm right where I need to be.
Right.
Okay, 4, I hit, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I hit an 8-iron up there, and 5, I hit sandwich.
Yeah. Thanks, Tiger.